Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you've got the Devil card. Right now, don't freak out. Yes, it could be overindulgence just because it's the holiday season, but I actually feel from this card, as soon as I put it on the board, the word that came to mind was a purging, right? And this week, the Devil card I actually think is helping you. I actually feel like this is an assist from the universe. It's almost like this is showing up to say to you, what is it that you know right now is not doing you any favors? Is it a thought process? Is it a belief? Is it a food that you're eating? Is it something that you're drinking? Are you smoking? Like whatever it is, this week it's not so much about the addiction or the thing that you're tied to or whatever. It's about the purging of that thing. And I kind of feel like this is going to be one of those weeks where something that you decide to stop, something that you decide to give up or give over, you're going to have a moment where it's like, wow, you know what, I can't believe, like, yes, this is awful because, you know, I'm having to go through the process of not having this thing or this attachment or this idea or this belief or whatever. I'm having to do all the challenging stuff around this. But there's like something in your mind that almost says like, wow, I actually feel a lot better for letting this go, like whatever it is. So this week I don't feel like it's the traditional sense of the Devil card. I actually feel like this is more your determination or like your healthy obsession about, you know, overriding or overwriting something in your life, which is great. But there's another element to this where it's like, it's almost like a purge. Like this has to go. I just want rid of it. And I actually think this could be a very good thing for you. For your actions and options this week, you have the Four of Swords, right? So take your time with it. This is not a week for you to rush. You don't have to be busy around the place. One thing that this might suggest, because it is the Devil card, maybe this could suggest for a select few of you, and you'll know if I'm talking to you, maybe there's something you've been too passive on, right? This might be a week where you have a bit of a wake-up call from the universe and they say to you, listen, you've been idle enough, right? You've had a moment to rest. You've had plenty of time to rest. You've had plenty of time to consider. Now you need to get back on it. Now you need to get back on with it, right? So this could be a moment of real pure honesty as well with self, but it could just as easily be that you're choosing not to hurry, right? It's like, yes, I will adjust, but I'm not going to hurry. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take this at my own pace, all right? If you haven't got your seat on the winter solstice, you can do that on the link in the description box below. Please head over to that link and take a look. So this year I've got two very special guests. I have Heather from Astrology with Heather. I've got Denise from Human Design with Denise. If you saw my Venus retrograde special, she's a human design expert, so you will be able to get all of that knowledge. And on top of that, you will also be able to get all of Heather's valuable knowledge as well. And I will be there also culminating the session in a future life progression, which is kind of like a guided meditation. And on top of that, you will also get access to the recording so you can watch it after if you can't make it on the day. For your communications and conversations, you have the Page of Cups. I mean, what I like about this for you is it suggests that communication is a lot easier. It's a lot more harmonious this week. The one thing that I will say to you is it's kind of a lot more idealistic as well. Be careful this week, because in some of the conversations that you have, you just need to make sure that you're hearing what's actually being said versus what you would like to be hearing. You've got this underneath the Devil card, right? So this could be that you're hell-bent on one thing and what you're actually being delivered or spoken to about is something very different. And it's almost like there's a refusal to acknowledge this, right? So check in with that. Now, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, This could literally be you giving yourself time, space, and energy to do something different, all right? To go in a way that actually feels like it's pulling your heart, right? So when you go to work or you interact with your colleagues, etc., maybe there's a part of you that says, you know what, I think I'm ready to phase this out now. I think I'm ready to drop this routine. I think I'm ready to do something else or to go in a different direction. It'll be the same for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves. This is going to see you really tapping into what you love to do and doing more of that. And, you know, it could be, because you've got the devil card here, maybe you put the blinkers on and you just kind of disappear into what you love to do and you're not so fussed about what everybody else wants or requires from you. And this could work again for those of you that are employed as well. Like it's kind of all in there. This week there's kind of a it's like in my head I'm seeing someone that represents Libra and they're like la la la, you know, like they're just literally in their own world, like everything's great for me and isn't it so wonderful, and it's like the whole world around them is like and you're like, well, this is nice. Right, so try not to idealize too much this week. It's good to have a little bit of optimism and idealism about everything, right? Because it keeps you striving for what the best of what something could be. But when you're just flat out ignoring reality, you know, that's escapist, and it could be a little bit of a bite in the tush. So for those of you for those of you that are retired or no longer working, this week I'm going to be honest with you, right? Sometimes the Page of Cups can highlight the hole in our emotions, and sometimes the Devil card can be where we fill that hole with anything and everything that we can get our hands on. I will say that this could be a week, if you have too much time to think, that old adage, and it's, you know, it's cliche and it's a bit cringy because of what it is, but idle hands are the devil's playground, right? So this week it's not about keeping yourself busy because you've got the Four of Swords here. It's about taking time to slow down, Four of Swords, right? And being okay with the silence, being okay with the stillness, and not filling it with everything and anything that you can get your hands on to distract you from how you actually feel. All right, it's important that you allow this process to unfold this week. For your love and relations, you got the Three of Swords. So for those of you that are single, it's likely to be through the friends, through the family, through the get-togethers, you know, that you could be meeting someone. It's very possible. With that Devil card, you know, even love, you can, you know, or what appears to be love that is just lust or attraction or obsession or whatever can get the better of us. I want to say to you, like, if you are meeting someone, it's likely to be through somebody that you know. And there's a part of me that feels like that may be the cautionary note. You know, like sometimes, you know, like a friend introduces us, or like, you know, or like you date that person's sister or their brother or whatever, and it's like, oh, you know, if it goes sour, there's the friendship to consider. So just be careful here if that is the case. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, there's a lot of laughter here. I can definitely say that. And there's a lot of you and your partner this week are getting back on track. And when I say back on track, it's not that the relationship has been off or anything like that. It actually feels like this is you. It's almost like, you know, you in a relationship, sometimes you go through that phase where things are really serious for a long time. And then when you emerge that, not only are you stronger, but you laugh more about it, right? This could be the week where the laughter returns, right? This could be the week where the fun and the enjoyment returns to the relationship after what's been, you know, a relatively quite challenging time for you guys when it comes to relationships. And obviously Venus is going to go retrograde at the end of this week. This is a big deal for you. Excuse me. And it's a big deal for you because Venus is your ruler. For your money and materials, you've got the Six of Wands, right? So the changes that are happening on the work front look to be really great, right? Because your finances are doing really well. I mean, one of the things about putting your blinkers on and just going in, doing your job and then coming home is that when you don't get sucked into anything else, you can get so much more done. And when you can get so much more done, there is advancement. However, you are supposed to continue taking things at pace. This Six of Wands, for those of you that have put money into investments or into things that you were hoping were going to pay out, this week you can you could absolutely see that take place or take shape, which is nice. The other thing with the Six of Wands when it comes to money, it's kind of like quick money. It's not necessarily money that lasts, so it's kind of like a boost now. It might not necessarily be for the long term, right? So maybe this is a bonus, which, hey, listen, don't knock it. For your physical health and vitality, this is your back, your heart and your spine. Yeah, and when it comes to your home and environment, you've got, I almost want to say like this would be one of those weeks where you just want it to kind of, excuse me, you want it to slow down, and it's almost like you're going to actually need a revolving door. Could be a busy week for you guys, but a fun one nonetheless, and maybe this is why there's so much overindulgence with that Devil card, right? For your full moon message, which is in fellow air sign of Gemini, so it's offering a trine energy to you that's going to be supportive, harmonious. You have the gate 39 and provocation, right? So this, I believe, so the full moon this week, the Page of Cups is you, right? And you're la la la, everything's so wonderful. And it looks like someone's going to try to burst that bubble, and woe betide the person that does, right? Most of the time, Librans are like, oh, they'll try to find a way around it. But every so often, you're going to get the right, that's it. And this kind of feels like that. Consider that if somebody's trying to do that, it's probably because they're trying to get your attention and you appear to be checked out. You may not be, but you appear to be, right? And so if someone or something is being very loud or very obscene or obnoxious, it is provocation. So maybe they do something that they know really annoys you, and that's the thing that kind of bursts that bubble for you and brings you back into the present moment, and you're like try to, around that full moon, it could be a moment. But if anything, right, because this is offering a trine energy to you, this might actually be the thing that you need to bring you back down to earth, so that you can say, okay, you know what, whatever this thing was that I was doing, whether it's, escapist behavior, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever it is, right? It might be that thing that you need to actually say, you know what, I need to purge this. It's just not doing what it says on the tin anymore. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Whatever you do or don't celebrate, I truly hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Take care, and I'll see you soon.